Hi everybody, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. Welcome, I'm so glad you're here to join me. Give me just a second here while I pull this up and get it shared on my page. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I certainly did. I actually had a 3-day weekend this year, or this weekend. It was nice to have a little extra time to relax, get caught up on stuff, and just some downtime. I'll be glad when we can travel more and get away. But anyway, so if you recall, last week I showed you 6 different ways to use the True Love Designer Series paper. And it's the black and white paper, and this one we colored part of it here. This one was the spotlight where it punched out a 2-inch circle and just colored that, and then very carefully put it back into place. Try to make sure you can see it there. If you didn't watch my video, go back. These are lots of easy ways. Sometimes people have a hard time with just the black and white paper. And it doesn't have to be hard, actually. It's probably one of the more versatile products that Stampin' Up puts out. I'm always excited to see black and white paper. And it doesn't have to be colored, as you can see with this card here. Okay, here's one. Remember I used the gold gilding and put it on, made the gold heart. This one was some coloring. And this one I used the blending brushes and a little Wink of Stella on the flowers, and that's about all I did with the coloring. So remember, if you like my video tonight and share it, you get a chance to win the card I'm making tonight. And the winner from last week's video was Shannon Jenkins. So Shannon, I'll probably send you out a couple of these cards, okay? I appreciate so much when everybody likes and shares. I like when you give me hearts and thumbs up too. That makes me feel good. I enjoy that. Lets me know that you like what you're seeing and helps me know what to do in the future. So, and also while we are waiting for a couple people to get on, what would you think? Would you want to do like some mystery stamping sometime? That's where I give you dimensions of paper and what to have for embellishments and stamp sets, and then we kind of create together. And everybody's creations are totally different, but essentially the same layout. It's really a nice. It's a fun way to learn some new layouts and see how it totally changes the card. So if you're interested, let me know that, okay? I'd like to hear from you because I think that would be fun to do once in a while. So maybe that's something I could throw in on a weekend or another weeknight or something like that. So let me know. Post below if you think you'd like to do some mystery stamping. Okay, well the card we're going to make tonight, as I said in my Facebook post, it's kind of it's a fun fold. Okay, and it's a fun fold, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I'm going to show you that from this angle, and then because it'll be kind of hard to show laying down. Okay, and I got this particular card in a swap, and I made a couple different ones, and we're going to make yet another one tonight, and it's really easy. So this was the card that I got. Is that not in my swap? Is that not cool? This uses the Dandy Garden Suite from the new catalog, and it fits in one of our envelopes. Just see right there, that's the size of one of our envelopes. So I'm going to show you how to make that. I'll show you the other ones that I put together. This was the first one I made. I was just playing around. I had to pull out some. This paper here is retired, but just playing around with it. And then the last one I did, this uses the Hydrangea Designer Series paper, which I just think is so pretty. So I'm going to show you how to make it. To me, it looks a little bit like a room divider with these fun, you know, cutouts at the bottom, and it's really simple to make. So I'm going to give you those directions tonight and show you how to do it. So we'll use this one as our example, and I am going to switch around to my hand view, and we are going to get started, okay? And there we are. Okay, very good. So hope everybody is doing well. We have snow coming our direction. I am not particularly looking forward to it, but so far it hasn't been bad. Okay, so let's get started. This, the base of it uses a piece of cardstock that's 8.5 by 5.5, which is just our normal cardstock or card base size. Actually, this piece I pulled out of my drawer. I had already folded it in half to make a card out of, but I am going to use it because that'll be just fine. So, like I said, this is 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score this at 2.5 inches. Here, 2.5. No, it's not 2.5. Boy, I'm glad I looked at that. It is 2 1/8. Essentially, what we're doing is dividing the paper in fourths, okay? So what I did was I took 4 1/4 and divided that. So that's 2 1/2. And just for ease, I'm just going to turn it around, or 2 1/8. I'm sorry. Turn around and do 2 1/8. So those score lines are 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and 6 3/8 if you're going down. But as far as except that was not right there. 2 1/8. I was off. You know, let me go get another one. Because, yeah, let me just go get another piece. Hang on, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Some days I can't talk and chew gum at the same time. Okay, we're going to do this again. I have to open up this arm. Let me see my measurements here. We'll start all over. Okay, so we have 2 1/8. We're going to concentrate on this. 2 1/8. We have 4 1/4. And 6 3/8. And what I'm going to do, I am going to turn this paper around this way because the 3/8 comes right here at this, and I want to make sure I get this right. So again, this is going to be 2 1/8 from this side. Yeah, there's a 1/2, 1/4, 1/8. Okay, there we go. I knew there was a reason I wasn't doing the 6 3/8, but didn't dawn on me, so okay. Let me get my bone folder here. So, let's see, the first one we're going to go like this. We're going to burnish this real good. Get a nice crisp edge. And then we're going to fold this one. You know, you're just folding it, in kind of a Z shape. And then this one we're going to fold in. Actually, that kind of looks like a gatefold card, except with a fold in the middle, doesn't it? So there we go. That's what it's going to look like. So, and see, that's the size of one of our regular cards, so it's really easy. So what I did here first, just to get the placement of my punch right, I know that this is 2 1/8. So just so that I know that I can find the center of it, it's 1 1/16, so this would be half, quarter, 1/8, 16th. I'm just going to put that right there, so I can kind of eyeball the center of that segment. I'm going to use the Everyday Label Punch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the bottom edge of my paper right here, even with these corners, okay? And I'm going to punch the 2 pieces at a time. Actually, because it has to hang out, you got to do it from different sides. But see, can you tell how I'm lining that up there? Let me see if you could see that. There you go. With the edges there. But then because I have that dot, I know where the center of that segment is. Let me get my head in here, make sure I got it right. Oops, there we go. Okay. Now this one will go in this way. So again, I'm going to measure the 1 1/16. There we go. Do this the same way. Oh shoot, no, I needed to do the other side. Yep, because it goes this way. Because it has to stick out. So 1, 2 1/8, so it'd be 1 1/16. That's a half, a quarter, 1/8, and a 16th. Don't need a 16th very often, but sometimes it's handy. So again, I'm going to line it up with these corners, the bottom of the cardstock. I've got my mark in the middle of the little bubble there for let's see there. There we go. Those just went flying. Okay, and there we go. There's the base. It may not be, well, those are even. Yep, look at that. Right on target. I couldn't have done that again if I tried. The first one I did, it wasn't very even, so that's why I started marking the center with a pencil. So, that's the big mystery to putting this together. That's the hard part. That's the hardest part. You can see that isn't even hard at all. So, then what I have is 4 pieces of, I'm used to calling it Whisper White, but I guess it's called Basic White. And these are 2 inches by 4 3/4 inches long, okay? So I'm going to lay it out like this one is here. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have 3 pieces of Designer Series paper. Of course, you could do all 4 of them with Designer Series paper. And I am using, today I'm going to use the celebration paper called Flower and Field. You know, it's free with a $50 order. It's got these great flowers. It's kind of dark, but you know what? I'm really liking it. So I decided to use that. And these are 1 7/8 by 4 5/8. So really they are just an 1/8 inch smaller in each dimension, okay? And then I'm going to put the Designer Series paper on the white. And then we'll adhere it to the card. Let me get my adhesive. Here we go. My Seal Plus. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that January is almost over. Whoops. Can you? There we go. Sometimes with these smaller borders, you have to concentrate just a little bit. So there you go. And then we're going to do, this is just the flip side of that. So that's nice because most of the time these pattern papers have kind of a geometric on the other side. Whoops. I'm trying to break it there. There we go. It doesn't want to break completely. There we are. Some days I have no problem. Some days it's like I've never used it before. Oh well. The great thing is, you know what? It's only paper. we go. There's two of them, and then the last one I'm going to use this with the green leaves on it. That's the back side of it. I suppose I could use that, but I kind of wanted something a little more geometric, like that. There we go. Okay, let me put that on there. There we are. Okay, now I'm going to put those, I'm going to go ahead and put those three on my card base. And then that'll get those out of the way. I think I'm going to just do this. Okay, let's put this on here. And you know what I should have done was, I'll go ahead and put this on. And then maybe what we'll do, you know, you want them all to line up the same. I guess I could do it like this and then put the other one on. That's what I'll do. I think some of those, I had changed my roll of tape last time, and I think sometimes they're harder to break than others. So there we go. See, now those are lined up, and then I can line up this middle one here. Okay. So anyway, in the beginning I had asked if anybody was interested in a mystery stamping event, so I'd like to hear from you. They're kind of fun. I've done a few of them with my upline and my team, and they're a lot of fun because nobody's turns out exactly the same. Okay, so we're partially there, and of course we always stamp before we adhere if we can. So I'm going to stamp on here, and I decided today, I know this one's been around a while, but I'm going to use the daisy lane because I wanted to use the daisy, but you know what, this could be any set. And I'm going to, on the inside, I'm going to put the best moments in my life happen with you. Let's see, I'm going to use Memento black for that. So let me get that going here. Make sure I got good ink on that. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to have to get that re-inked here soon. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put this. Yeah, the only thing with these kind of narrow panels is you have to have kind of narrow sentiments. So that's the only thing. Sometimes that gets a little tricky finding something like that. But they are there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this in. Come on. There we go. There we go. Come on. There we are. So you don't need too much of that adhesive simply because it does adhere really well. Now there's a couple people I know who prefer to use the Seal Plus to the seal. I'll be honest, I haven't used the Seal Plus too much, so I don't have an answer for that. Okay, so my panels are on there. I think that's looking nice. Okay, so and we're going to put something on the front. On this one, I stamped. This was out of the that Valentine's set I used a couple weeks ago, and I stamped the heart with the gingham, and then I used the die cutter to cut it out. It's a little smaller, and I put a piece of vellum there, and here's a little piece of ribbon. You can't hardly see it. I think I would do something different. Maybe should have used a little purple ribbon or something to go on there, but that's okay. You know what? We're learning here. So I think I'm just going to put friend on the front of this one because it kind of looked like a friendly bunch of flowers. So I do like this pattern. It looks like a field of wildflowers. So we're going to stamp this here. Good. Then I'm going to punch that out. I'm going to use the 2-inch round punch. I may need to trim this piece of paper down. I bet I'm going to have to. Oh, I can get it from this way. Okay, so I'm going to move it just a little up, just a little bit. Okay, because I'm going to put a bow on it. So there's that. Yeah, I didn't want to pull out the cut and emboss machine today. So now you can see on this one I used some vellum. I like vellum. It gives it just a little bit of an accent without, you know, adding a lot of color or anything. And something I keep forgetting to use are vellum doilies. They are just a lot of fun. They're so fun to use. You can color them. You can do all sorts of things with them. See, they come in this square. And for this, we're going to use a half of one. I've already cut one in half and then cut it in quarters again. I'll show you here. So I already have, you know, this half was here. And this one I've trimmed up a little bit already. So this one was probably right over here. But anyway, I guess it doesn't make a lot of difference, okay? But anyway, so I cut it in half and then I cut it in quarters. And then I just kind of trimmed. You can see maybe the difference in them. See, I've trimmed off this part that sticks out because I want it to sit right behind my circle, like that. And I'm going to put one on the top of my circle and one on the bottom, kind of like that. So, you know, that looks a little bit like a crown, doesn't it? So I think what I'll do is I'll put this adhesive here. Well, so I didn't quite get enough there. Get there. There we are. And I think what I'll do is lay this. This will be the easiest way because I kind of like that. There we go. Picked that up perfect. Oops, there's a little piece out of that. So then I'm going to trim this up here where my snip's out. Just going to kind of same thing here, like that. And then I can hide those behind here, like that. So I'm going to do the same thing here and put the adhesive down. I'm going to cut this, I'm going to cut part of this off here because it was kind of catching in the back. Just, I don't have to fight with it that way. I don't know, some days I prefer to use punches to using the die cutting machine, the cut and stamp and emboss machine. There we go, kind of like that. There we go. So now I've got, it frames it a little bit. And I think it shows up nice. Again, the challenge is you have to have stuff that's very vertical. So, you know, this is the 2-inch circle. So that's, and, you know, the white is 2 inches. So that's about your limit there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on with a couple of dimensionals. Let me get those out. I think I'll put 3 dimensionals on it because I just kind of like the stability you get with 3 of them. There we go. So if you're just joining me, welcome. I'm making this fun card. To me it looks like a room divider when you stand it up. If you haven't seen it, this is what it, you know, it stands up like that. But that's what it looks like. And if you like my video, I would love it if you would comment, or if you would share it, and then comment share down below so that you can, maybe I'll be sending you this friends card. Okay, so then I went ahead and pulled out the Bumblebee gingham ribbon. Now this is Bumblebee here, so I'm going to put a bow right on there. And you know, the trick to making these bows kind of easy is just leaving it attached, doing bunny ears, and then just tying the bunny ears together. I am not a good bow tire, so if I'm doing it, you know it's pretty doggone easy. But I like this ribbon, it's easy to work with, and makes a nice bow, and it isn't too bulky. There we go, I'm going to put a bow right on there. Let me get my glue dots. Oops, get the glue dot right off there. The less you handle the glue dot, the better, because then it will, you don't want to take the sticky away from it. Okay, that's all done. Then I felt like I wanted to do something to jazz this up, and so since I was working, you know, like I said before, I decided I was going to use the medium daisy from this Daisy Lane stamp set. Let me see, where is my, oh, here it is right here. Here's my ink and my stamp. I'm going to cut out a couple of, or punch out a couple of these. I'm going to stamp them and punch them out. Layer them. Put that on the middle there. Okay, there we are. Punch these out. Let's see, right like that. And one more. There's that. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of my Tombow adhesive to adhere those together. Okay, right, just put a little dot on there. Kind of stagger those and put them so it just fills the daisy out a little bit more. Oops, get that off of there. Last time it took me a while to get that off my mat, so I'm going to try not to get any on there. I'll use that paper. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my glue again. It's just too big a center. I punched out a small, I'm going to leave it. I might be able to darken it up with some brown of some sort. Let's see. This is light soft suede. Let's see what this looks like here. Put a little bit of this in here just to, there we go. I'm not too fond of that color. I don't like the way that blends with that. Hold on, hopefully I can fix this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use this brown. This is the bronze marker here. See what that looks like when I... There we go. It's a little more brown. There we go. There we go. You could put some Wink Estelle on your flower, whatever you wanted to do. I'm going to just kind of curl the petals a little bit. Let's get another dimensional. Put that on. Put that on here. And just about 5 minutes before my live was to start, I was going to stamp this stem and cut it out, and I thought, no, I don't have enough time. But you know, you could do that and it would be really pretty, just kind of there and bring it down. So really, that is all there is to making that card. You know, you can really, each panel can really be whatever you want it to be. But I like that it stands so easily. It does fit in one of our envelopes. I'll show you here, in case you doubt me. Which, it's really nice because then, you know, you don't have to deal with extra postage or anything like that. So there we go. There we go, just as simple as that. And really, it shouldn't be any extra postage because it's the same amount of paper, just kind of configured differently. So I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm so glad you're here, and please like my video, share it, comment that you shared, give me thumbs up, hearts, things like that. And I will be back next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Stampin' with Denise. You guys take care and have a great week. Bye now.